and whoever happens to be watching this live.
What's up?
Hopefully, we gave the 3 for some folks to show up, but apparently Sunday is a very popular live streaming day.
Yeah, it's very popular, as we've learned.
Yes, and so are you apparently, because not only are you booked on your own show, but you are also booked on another show later today,
I'm very expensive.
and almost on another one.
Almost. Nick Milky from Podcast The Wells reached out and
Yeah.
was like, "Hey, you want to be on my show?" And I was like, "Sorry."
So Sundays are no longer peaceful, no longer for naps. They are only for boop.
Only it's Boop Visibility Month.
There you go.
Apparently. So there you go.
So yeah, so we'll just we'll see if anybody pops in here.
Dang it,
Otherwise,
hope
this
so.
just ends up being an episode. I mean, luckily, we did it last time. It was actually pretty popular and cool, where we did the live stream and then we reposted that as an episode, and we had plenty of people that weren't able to make it, so they tuned in and enjoyed that.
Hey, Jackson.
Yeah, Jackson's here.
What's up, dude?
The sickly green bunny has returned.
The 6'3" sickly green bunny. Yes.
Yeah, there you go. Put that on a button. But yeah,
Put
for some
that on your
reason,
button and smoke it.
people, we've got our live stream fans, and then we've got our regular episode fans. And so last time it was pretty popular. I think that's the last episode we were actually able to do.
Yeah.
And that's part of the reason we're doing a live episode now, is because we had an impromptu 2.5 week break.
Yeah, it was incredibly impromptu.
It kind of was and wasn't. And whenever hurricane season comes, I'm kind of aware something might happen. But yeah, it's one of those things where it's just, you never know, and you can never plan on not being present for 2 weeks.
Yeah.
You kind of just have to be aware that it's a possibility at times. Anyway, so yeah, there was that. Thanks, Ida, for that, for 2 weeks of not vacation. But anyway.
No, the exact opposite of a vacation. You literally just worked straight for 2 weeks.
Yeah, it was fun. It wasn't.
No, didn't have a great time, did you?
But I'm back. I'm having a great time now.
Yeah, you're hanging out with me. That's pretty dope.
Exactly. And as usual, you're sort of our planner of festivities. You're our hostess with the mostest, I guess.
I'm the MC.
You're the one I trust to kind of make the plans, and then I just show up and hope magic happens.
And it doesn't. It never does. I just
no, it does. You're the
mm.
magic.
Oh,
That's why you're such a hot commodity.
gross.
So,
So,
yes. So it's what have you got for us?
well, we're gonna do hat or Vader chatter. I don't know what to call it anymore because it's not a hat anymore.
It's not a hat. Although that's what we've called the series, so I guess we're sticking with it. But we last time we called this nerd chatter, because our show Hat Chatter, if you haven't checked it out, is where we pick random questions to discuss for a podcast episode. And originally, we would pull them from a hat. Those, though, we work hard to make sure aren't super nerdy. They aren't too terribly tied to our fandom interests, because then that just becomes Nerd Herder or Nerdiverse.
Yeah.
And so, but last time we specifically wanted to do nerdy, so we called it Nerd Chatter.
Yeah.
So I guess this is Nerd Chatter 2: The Reckoning.
The squeakle.
But definitely check out and look out for hat chatters. We have got to get back to those. People enjoyed those when we do them.
We have fun.
We just talk. Obviously, nerd stuff comes up as it does in normal life. I can't not talk about Star Wars at some point, but it's definitely not the point of the show. We kind of just talk as ourselves on that. So yeah, check those out when they come around. So yeah, nerd chatter, I guess. Topics at random for us to discuss.
Yeah. One topic that I did want to talk about that is not random.
Okay.
That I mentioned briefly. I've been talking about it on Twitter. I have not been quiet about the fact that we are rewatching Hannibal, which is my comfort show, which is odd because it's literally a show about a dude that eats people and makes puns about cannibalism.
It's about a lot of
It's
things. I mean,
it's about
I
art.
wouldn't even say Hannibal's the main character of his
No.
own show. So, I like although yes, he is a main component. It is about so much more.
Yeah.
It's got a lot more going on, and so a misconception can actually be, well, it's just about Hannibal. It's just those movies done a little differently and whatnot. But
Yeah.
it really tries to push past just Hannibal.
Yeah, and if you've read the books by Robert Harris, you will see how far it goes from the source material. Hey Nick, what's up? I see you there. We mentioned you earlier in the show.
We did.
We did.
You missed it,
Let's
and
just, if we
we want our
can.
money back. Oh,
There
that's
we
right.
go.
I'm sorry. I'm closest to the thing, and I could be doing that.
You are.
I actually have my glasses today, so I can see it.
Yeah, you do. Oh, yeah. I forgot to take off my glasses. It's fine. We don't need to see.
It's all
Um,
good.
yeah, it's fine. I don't know if there are any other fans of Fanibles out there.
Is that what
As
they call
yeah,
themselves?
well, it's important to have a name for your fandom, like Trekkies and D
Yeah,
bags.
I mean, I guess it helps to. I don't know. I feel like that's where some of the gatekeeping comes from, is because it's not like, oh, I like Star Trek. Oh, but are you a Trekkie? And it's like
Yeah,
it almost adds this next level. Star Wars
yeah.
fans don't actually have a cool nickname. I don't think.
You merely adopted the Star Trek. I
I would
was
almost
born
say
in it.
fanboys,
Loved
but
it, man.
that's a little too general. That's not Star Wars specific enough.
Walked right
But
over my Bane impression.
huh?
You walked right over my Bane impression.
It wasn't very good, so
Wow, rude.
you weren't
First of
nearly
all,
nasally enough.
Batman.
I feel like that's just like, oh my gosh,
Batman.
it's something else. Tom Hardy's on to bigger and better things, thank goodness.
Are you saying that that was not a good Bane?
It was all right. I don't like Bane as too um too intelligent of a villain. He's
You like Poison Ivy Bane?
well, not necessarily that bad. Like not necessarily that meat-headed. At somewhere in between where yes, he like cuz in a lot of the comics, not all of them, but it's kind of this mix, and that's what it should be. Is it should be this battle between brain and brawn for the character. That's
Yeah.
the whole point. Is that's his biggest weakness is because he wants strength, he loses some of his intelligence and humanity. If he's both intelligent and brawny, I feel like that gives him no weakness other than the fact that he's like 5'4". So
Hey, that is a perfectly respectable height.
interesting villain, interesting film, but overall, I just thought it was a little too like that. Dark Knight Rises for me is what I think of when I think of people thinking of like the Christopher Nolan Batman movies,
Yeah.
to being high headed, of just like, yeah, but they tried to make it make too much sense or make it too real, and it's just like I feel like The Dark Knight was perfect comic book movie levels
Dude.
of real and fiction. I mean, it's all fake, but you know what I
Right.
mean. It balances so well.
Yeah.
Being about this dude that dresses up as a bat, but also being very grounded. But I think the third one went too grounded, um, at least for
Yeah.
me. I mean, it's a fine movie. I mean, like, Christopher Nolan doesn't make bad movies. He just either makes very, very good movies or very mushy movies.
Was that the last
Um,
movie that we saw, or not last movie, the last Batman movie that we saw in the theater?
yeah, that was the last Batman movie in theaters, I believe, right?
No.
Yeah, I mean, the Justice League stuff doesn't count.
Oh wow.
It's not his movie.
Yeah, you got a point there. Batman versus Superman.
Captain America 3 is a Avengers movie, but Avengers is not a Captain America movie.
Jacuzzi hot tub. Yeah.
Yeah, if that makes sense. So anyway,
I
that was a
got.
long discussion about
I have a joke.
Batman.
Shush. I got the words jacuzzi and yakuza mixed up, and now I'm in hot water with a Japanese mafia.
um, yeah, The
Oh
Dark
yes,
Knight's the best.
I agree.
I think it's that I think it's that trilogy formula that suffers a lot of trilogies. Is the first one doesn't have good footing, the second one has great footing, and then the third one flubs it.
Wow,
Um,
some
you know,
opinions happening
Well, no, I just mean like so many trilogies, it's bookended by not quite being what it's supposed to be. Only in the middle is it. I mean, think of the Terminator movies. The first one is very, very, very good, but I don't think that the sci-fi element was as realized. I don't think that the action that James Cameron was going for. But you could argue
James
that's down to
Cameron?
budget. That's all blah blah blah. But nonetheless, he was able to make a better movie about 10 years later. And then he follows it up with
Yeah.
well, I don't think he was as heavily involved with 3, but either way, the 3rd one sucked. It's not as bad as people think it is, but it definitely wasn't as good.
Yeah. God knows, by the time we get Avatar 2, he's gonna be one of the greatest directors of all time.
So, anyway,
Yakuza Hot Tub. Yes.
I don't wanna
Absolutely.
get too deep into deconstructing trilogies or anything, but as long as we can agree The Dark Knight is a great comic book movie, the likes of Spider-Man 2 and, Winter Soldier and whatnot, so
Okay. The Raimi Spider-Man
I'm just
trilogy is
boom, boom, boom.
fantastic. It's fantastic comic book
Okay, see
movie.
the Raimi trilogy is another
What's up,
perfect
Rez?
example. The first one, a little too
I
goofy. The second
disagree.
one perfectly balances emotion, character growth, and comic book action. Alfred Molina. And then you've got the third one where they're just like, let's try and do all the comics all at once or whatever. It's just
Sandman was cool.
he was pushed into a corner to make that movie and to put all of those characters in. And
Yeah.
I really do feel bad for Sam Raimi, but that's what happens a lot of the times. Is it's just the first and third of a trilogy.
Mhm.
Eh,
Well, like, I think I've grown an appreciation of the Raimi
Lord of the Rings.
trilogy.
Sorry.
I'm not acknowledging that.
Okay.
I've grown an appreciation for the Raimi trilogy as an adult, whereas, I was one of those people who did not like the Raimi trilogy for a really long time
Oh
because I
man,
trusted the opinions of others, which
don't
brings me to the
trust
next point.
people.
Don't
Is
trust anyone except for yourself.
no
Yeah,
Han
like
Solo rules.
exactly. Shoot first. Um, yeah, I having gone back and re-experienced the Raimi trilogy, I definitely have grown to appreciate the camp a lot, which, being an adult, having watched Evil Dead,
Groovy.
groovy. Yeah. Jackson, you need a chainsaw, man.
Put Bruce Campbell in more things.
Please,
Um,
please put Bruce Campbell in more
I've always
things.
liked them. Again, no one should ever take my criticisms as a meaning of like or dislike. Because I criticize a lot of things
You do. You
that
criticize me
that do,
constantly.
wow, that doesn't necessarily mean I dislike them.
Yeah, that was a joke for
I
legal
can have
reasons.
fun watching Spider-Man 3. It is a fun movie.
Mhm.
It's just not a very good movie. That's a fine realization,
Point
you
blank.
know?
Exactly.
I can dislike I jokingly put it out there, but I can dislike the 3rd Lord of the Rings movie, and still appreciate the whole stories that is being told over the 3 movies.
Mhm.
Um, I mean, it's just hard to beat Two Towers.
It is. It's really hard to beat Two Towers because that is just wow,
And usually
beautiful film.
that's the thing you're dealing with trilogies too, right? Is if it's all one story over 3, then usually the biggest climax is in the middle of the story, and then the ending is trying to deal with the consequences or to put a wrap to the climax, right?
Yes, I think so. Down boy. Um, yeah, I think you're absolutely right. It's really hard to make a good sandwich sometimes without
Yeah.
making with and you need some ham in there, but you
Here's the
also need
thing. If
cheese.
you make a ham sandwich, it's still meat between 2 plain pieces of bread.
You know what a
But
wish
you
sandwich
but here's
is?
the thing, you can't make a sandwich without 2 plain pieces of bread. So even if your 1st and 3rd movie are just, Wonder Bread, you gotta get the Wonder Bread to get the meat inside.
Sometimes you make a butt sandwich and you just have 2 butts
Use
of
your
bread.
butts, people. Stop
You know what that
wasting
is?
butts.
Stop wasting butts, for Pete's sake.
I have this argument with anyone that will listen.
You
Just
know
use every piece of the bread, dang it.
what trilogy is like Wonder Bread, crappy meat, and then just sublime, the most beautiful white bread you've ever had?
Mm-mm.
The Exorcist Trilogy.
Oh, yeah.
The Exorcist 3 is one of the best horror movies ever
It's
made.
my favorite Exorcist movie. of the
It's
Exorcist
fantastic.
series, not exorcism overall. There's a lot of exorcism
There's
movies.
quite a few
We were
exorcism
very
movies.
obsessed with the church for a long time. We didn't go to church, but we were very obsessed with it.
Yes. Don't read that out loud.
Anyway,
Don't acknowledge him. He's just
I
gonna
can't.
encourage him.
I hate hashtags. I can't read them appropriately. Like my brain doesn't process when there's no gaps between words. So I'm just gonna put that up for everybody else to read and enjoy. Exorcist, good job, Jackson. You've redeemed yourself. For what? I don't know, but obviously I assume you need something to be redeemed for,
I don't
so.
remember what this was in reference to, but it made me laugh when I wrote it down.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. You're gonna get it
There
as
you
soon as
go.
I show
I can
it.
read that hashtag. Stop wasting butts.
Stop wasting butts. Listen to Nick. The Milky Man says, stop wasting butts.
Can I not read? What? Did you point?
Did you point?
I think you just made that.
I think I just made that just to make you laugh. And that was
Hey, guys, did you point today?
Did you point?
Did you point?
I don't think we have any Game
Did you
Grumps
point?
fans.
Yes, we do. Backyard Tardis.
Yes, he is.
Nick is. So he always
Nice.
catches whenever we make stupid Game Grumps references. So.
Well, like, we don't watch television a lot. Don't tell Dan I said that, because I'm never going to hear the end of it.
We watch modern TV.
We watch a lot
aka
of
streaming services.
Exactly. We watch a lot of YouTube and a lot of YouTube compilations.
No,
as well.
I have met someone that watches a lot of YouTube recently. No, we do not.
We don't.
Our entire life and entertainment channel does not center around YouTube. I would have said that. Like we watch a lot of YouTube, we watch a lot of Netflix and Hulu and everything. No, I can no longer say that with certainty because based on meeting this person, it was just one of those things. Like, wow, you really don't watch anything else.
Yeah.
And it's not so much judgment; it's just a wow. Yeah, it's
This
just
is
like
modern.
golly, golly gee, Batman.
Gosh. Yeah, we got questions. We got cues.
Okay, I was wondering if that was all that was in
Yeah.
there. So, all right, yeah, hit us.
Look at that.
Oh yeah,
All them
we're watching Hannibal. That's where it started.
Yeah. Oh yeah, we never
We're
finished that
enjoying.
statement. You like it?
Yep.
We watched the horse episode.
Yep.
Did you like it?
The horse episode, in case, because I heard that first as the first episode, and I was like, yeah, that was a long time ago.
Yeah.
We've watched the first episode and the horse episode.
The horse episode is my favorite. If you're someone who trusts my recommendations, watch Hannibal. Enjoy yourself.
I will say the horse horror is why I watch Sleepy Hollow.
The horse horror, yeah. I love a good horse
No,
horror.
is it Sleepy Hollow or is it
Sleepy Hollow?
Is it Brothers Grimm?
Sleepy Hollow? There's a scary horse in both movies.
No,
so.
it's the Brothers Grimm, the one where the horse eats the boy.
That is 100% Brothers Grimm.
Sorry. I was shown that in school, in middle school, in a film class. Probably not supposed to do that. And I fell in love with the movie, though. I love it. I love both of those movies.
Do you remember when Pirates of the Caribbean came out and everyone was freaking out? Like, it was Johnny Depp fever everywhere.
Oh.
Yeah.
I guess that was the biggest thing he did after a while.
Yeah.
So.
He was great.
What's up, Jesse?
What's up? Hey, Jesse.
Welcome to the party. The party where nothing really is happening.
Place where nothing ever happens.
The pirates that don't do anything.
No. The questions are made up and the points don't matter.
There we go. Like life.
I got a question.
Yes.
I got a cue for you, John.
Yes.
Wow. This one is straight up not nerd in the slightest.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. Shut up.
That I can't think of someone feeding horses apples without thinking of Tropic Thunder. And if you understand that reference, you understand that reference, and you.
It's hard to read.
It's shame on you too. Okay, leave me
Yeah.
alone.
Yeah. Shame.
All right, what do we got? What's our question?
Our first question of the night is a sweet one, kinda. What is your favorite memory with your partner?
Yeah, that's not nerdy at all. Well,
Not in the slightest, because it's from the same helmet that I.
yeah,
used for the
we
radio.
mixed our serious questions with our nerd questions, guys. Sorry.
So I have one.
It could be nerdy, depending, because we do a lot of nerd things together. So
We do. Yes.
yes. All right,
Yes.
if you have one, go ahead.
My favorite memory with you is going immediately from work directly to the theater to go see The Force Awakens and seeing the absolute joy on your face seeing the Star Wars logo come up for the first time since you were a kid. Well, as in the theater.
Yes.
Yeah, and I remember looking at you and being like, "Oh my gosh. This is this is it. This is real."
There's a meme for this on Twitter.
There is.
I can't say.
No, you can't. I didn't think that marriage was for me, but it is. It was with this man.
Aw.
Yeah. But yeah, that was, I think, the first time that I had really seen you super passionate about Star Wars in a very real way. Because we've said on the podcast before, I wasn't a huge Star Wars fan before I met you.
Mm-hmm.
And us going to see Force Awakens together really kind of solidified that for me and opened my eyes to a larger universe. There you go.
Oh, that's sweet. That was
Yeah.
a genuine statement.
That was a genuine the way you say things sometimes.
No, that was a special and emotional time for sure.
Yeah.
And
You gripped my hand so tight.
well, and it's stuff like that that makes friendships and relationships in general stronger. And like that's what reminds you what Star Wars fandom's all about. It's not necessarily all the trivia you can quote and all this other stuff. It's those moments of meaning, right? So,
Yeah.
yeah.
That's why I love the sequel trilogy so much, in part because it was the first Star Wars that I experienced with you.
Hmm. One of my favorite is
Shut up,
probably
Jax.
the time we went to Disney just ourselves.
Mm.
Um, we'd gone with friends for years together, and but for our fifth anniversary, we decided to do it ourselves. We wanted to make our fifth anniversary special, and Disney's like the most special place you can be, and
It's true.
it also just coincided with being recently after Galaxy's Edge had opened, so we did that, and just there's no specific thing. It's just that entire week was nice. It was being in your own little world with someone you enjoy, doing things you enjoy,
Yeah.
and it's stuff like that that like reminds me, and it's important to remember of like everything else can still go on in life, and you can have those moments that are special that make it not necessarily better, but it makes it okay.
Mhm.
um, and that's all that was. I mean, we still went back to work after and home and everything, and stuff's always happening in life. But you get these moments where you get to step away, and because of who you're with, it makes it better.
Yeah.
It doesn't make anything go away though, but it doesn't have to. That's not the point.
No, the point is I choose you
Yeet.
like a Pokemon. You're my favorite Pokemon. Uh,
Awesome. I'm
so
a
there you go.
fire type.
You're fire type. Yes, baby. You are.
So that
Yeah.
was a good one. Sentimental, but good.
Sentimental.
For the married or partnered folks in the chat, let us know what's your favorite memory with your significant other.
Aw. Exactly. That was very nice.
Words come out of my mouth. Yes.
Yes. And sometimes they're very sweet and very
I don't know
genuine.
I never know what to say when people say stuff like that. It's just like I use words. Yes.
What? Okay. Your handwriting is so awful sometimes. You have the handwriting of a serial killer on Dexter. I swear to God.
I mean, I heard that show's coming back.
It is. It is back.
Good for them.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
what? So you want to read it?
Yeah, I got it.
Okay, can you read it now?
Yes, I can. Well, it looks like Idka of de-stress getaway. And no, it's idea of a de-stress getaway. What is your perfect vacation that you would love to go on right now?
I feel like I kind of already spoiled it in that. I mean, Disney's like our place. Even with thousands of other people there, we very much have our formula for how to enjoy it anyway.
Yeah, you just get on
Um,
the Haunted Mansion and refuse to leave.
right. um, and so yeah, I don't know. I mean, I guess just Disney. I always usually we always do Disney for a week, and so yeah, just that week of being in a very special place would definitely de-stress.
Mhm.
And again, not necessarily make all the problems in life go away, but I definitely forget about them for a few days.
Yeah, especially if
Um,
you go to Uga's Cantina for long enough.
yeah, and I mean, and whenever we go to Disney, we always milk it. We go early in the morning, get our coffee, and
Milk Disney.
we're there all day. Um, Not necessarily doing a million things, but we just take our time and make sure to enjoy every bit of it.
Yeah. Even just like walking around looking at things
Yep.
is
Yeah.
fun.
That's what I say. Everything at Disney when we go usually is something. Like, even when you're like you said, perusing between rides or you're when we're eating together or whatever, it's always every bit of it's nice.
Yeah.
Um, I feel like if you're only enjoying Disney when you're doing the ride, you're doing it wrong.
Milk Disney.
Milk Disney.
Gotta milk Disney.
Gotta milk Disney.
Cowabunga dudes, milk Disney.
What is this, a cow pasture? Because I'm gonna milk Disney. It's not funny if
It's
you're not us.
not. It's really we have an entirely different language at this point,
Yeah,
but it's
sorry.
okay. Um, I've been thinking lately, like how much fun it would be to just get into a car and drive around and see all of our friends. Like just
We
go.
have a lot more people spread out than we used to a few years ago, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I it was almost a year ago, I think now. No, it's not. It's been like 6 months since Samantha and Michael moved away.
Yeah,
Yeah,
who are also our Disney friends that we
yep.
mentioned earlier.
Yeah, lifelong friends, moved away from Augusta
Hi!
recently. Hey, Michael, what's up, buddy? Yeah. Um,
Yeah, it's been a while.
yeah. So I'm feeling a bit lonely.
Mm.
I have you, but I always have you. You're just a
Well, but
separate part of
I'm
me.
just me. Like,
You're
it's
just
okay to
you.
miss other people.
I know.
I f Well, I'm just saying in general. I feel like
Yeah.
sometimes we put too much pressure. It's just like, well, I have these 3 people. They'll feel bad if I miss those 3 people, and it's like,
Mhm.
no, those 3 people are 3 different people. Like,
Yeah.
you know, I don't understand that pressure to put on 1 or a few people to be your entire sources of joy and everything. Like, I
No.
understand you, like, the same ways that I'm friends with Samantha and Michael for certain things. Like, we
Mhm.
have our reasons, for loving them and missing them,
Yeah.
and obviously those are Michael things and Samantha things, not John things.
Mhm.
You know, they also have a cute kid, so that's
That's a very
I
cute
don't
kid.
come with that. That is not one of my accessories. You got to buy the battle pack for that one.
I'm good. I'm good. But yeah, like I saw recently uh Connor, Step a Banana on Twitter, fantastic friend, love him dearly. He went to Philly and visited Chris and wrote from Broaxium.
Yeah, I
And
saw they bumped into each other. Yeah,
I was just so jealous.
right,
I just wanted to be like, "Arr! I want to get into a car and drive.
right.
I want to see my friends." Like if we could make a map of where all of the friends live
Hmm.
and just drive around and just pick up everybody and just drive to Disney, that would be the perfect vacation.
That would be great.
Yeah.
Well, and I mean, yeah, like the destination vacations are kind of uh, my thing, but
I just want to be
um,
with people.
well, I was gonna say, yeah, that's that can make the destination for sure is who you're with.
Yeah.
Not to cheese it, yeah, but the friends along the way. You know,
The real vacation was the friends we made along the way. And
exactly.
you freaking tall person.
So, if
And
celebration
Putin.
was even on the radar, that would be an awesome time to do that sort of thing.
Yeah. It ain't
Um,
happening.
yeah, we had
Sorry,
had
guys.
fingers crossed for a very long time for Star Wars Celebration, but it's just not going to happen. And so, luckily, there's no signs of Star Wars stopping anytime soon. So there's bound to be more celebrations.
We'll see.
So you got to make your own celebrations along the way. I guess that's the lesson.
A celebration weekly on Twitter.
There you go.
Yeah, there you go. You ready for another one?
Yeah, let's hit another one.
Another one
Yep, we
bites
might have one
the
or two
cookie.
more depending on time wise. We're gonna cut it at right at an hour. Megan has to get ready for her big show later with Broaxium.
Yeah.
She doesn't put on her face for this, but she's
No.
she's she's planning a full wardrobe for her guest spot.
Sweater.
Center
That's it.
stage. She got center stage of the
Yeah,
billboard
my
and
face is
everything.
so big on that. It's honestly terrifying.
It's
Also, you
awesome.
just doxed me.
What? What did I do?
You said my real name.
Oh, sorry.
It's fine. You're used to calling me that in real life.
McClure has to get her flea naps in order for her event. As humans do.
As humans unknown to do.
Oh, gosh. I'm sorry y'all put up with this. Thanks for tuning in.
This one's gonna wait.
Oh, is it bad?
It's bad.
Okay.
I'm gonna let you read it while I pick another
Well,
one.
no, don't spoil it. Save it for later. Okay. That's going to be on a Hat Chatter, so you'll have to tune in for that one.
That's going to be on a Hat Chatter at some point.
While she's getting her...
Not right now.
Not right now. So while she's getting her next one...
I don't know. It's not me.
Right? That's like when old friends know you by a different name.
Exactly. Call me by my name.
Right? So, yeah, be sure to like the video if you're watching this live, or rate it if you're listening to the podcast after the fact.
Honestly,
talking to future people here, that's weird.
Yeah, it's not a big deal. Like I've said my
name. It is a big deal to like this video.
Not what I meant.
Oh, sorry.
Chuckles, all right? Like I've said my name several times on the old episodes of the podcast, so it's not a big deal. FYI. Yes, I was not born Boop.
I mean, you were a Boop when you were born.
I was Boop.
The Boop was just named.
I did not nearly. I did not just adopt the Boop. I was born into it, molded by it.
Hi, this is Meg. It's short for Megatron. That's how you have to introduce yourself forever now.
So you're handwriting. It's just so
good. Is it me again?
It's you again.
Awesome.
If you could forget and relearn one thing, what?
Oh gosh.
Mine are either like super deep or just absolute nonsense.
Mm-hmm. I like, and it's part of why I don't remember them is because I just go into kind of a fugue state and just produce.
You do automatic writing.
Yeah, I just make it and then I just mentally move on. I can't recreate or explain the mental state I was in when I wrote these.
If I could relearn that Alcatraz means pelican in Spanish, that would be just wonderful.
Well, what was funny is we were where we were staying in New Orleans when I was down there for the hurricane. We were staying near Poydras Street, and it was just one of those things where we said in conversation at some point with someone new that was coming to the deployment, and they're like, "Oh, that's weird," and it's just like, "Why?" And it's just like, "That's Spanish for lost," and it's just like, "Huh? Well, we're going to get lost or whatever." I don't know, but that has nothing to do with the conversation.
Absolutely nothing, but I trust your judgment. So
I mean, that person could have been completely wrong. I don't know them from a hill of beans, and I hate beans.
You do hate beans because you got beans spilled on you.
There were so many beans, guys. It's just not even funny.
It's a little funny.
It's not at all. Not when the bean is on you.
When the bean comes for you, will you be ready?
I mean, I feel like a lot of things. I feel like I wrote this out of a desire to forget a lot of things. Because I feel like a lot of stress in life is because we either learned something a certain way, learned it poorly, or learned it right, but life just doesn't work that way. Like, it's just it. There's a lot of things that it's just if I could forget the 20 plus years of knowledge I have about this thing and relearn it fresh, maybe I'd be less stressed out or crazy. I don't know. I feel like that's the heart of what I was going for with this.
I think you know, Jackson. I think you know.
You know who the bean is. Yeah, because it's just one of those things where it's just like, for like, I guess as an example, maybe my answer, but maybe not, unless I think of anything else. It's just what came to mind. Like cooking. I don't know much, and everything I learned was out of, yeah, self-preservation mostly. I mean, it was just a lot of like, I have to figure out how to do the simplest things on my own so that I can take care of myself.
It's fair.
And that has persisted now, though, into my adult life to where things that should be simple, just they aren't to me. Kitchen things aren't normal because I didn't learn that the right way.
Yeah.
And so it's one of those things where it's like if I could unlearn what I do know, which really just means if I could wipe the slate clean and start over, I feel like it'd be easier than constantly trying to evolve what I already know into something better. That
Mhm.
like
I get that.
that's really the big thing of this, right? Is it's just like I know something and I want to know something else. But whenever we try to introduce new information into old information and it's on the same subject, they clash. And so it's more so of like if I could just get rid of that and start over,
You must
I feel
unlearn
like
what you
yeah,
have
I
learned.
feel like I would be able to prepare more healthy and better food.
Mhm.
You know, again, that might be my answer, but that's at least an illustration
I get
for
you.
sure for it.
Yeah, I've tried to teach you cooking things before. Um,
Well,
that's the end of that statement, yeah.
yeah, it's just it's new and it's hard to learn as an
Yeah,
adult. Like I'm not
and
I'm partially, but not also making excuses for
yeah.
myself. But
No, but, like, you weren't raised in the kitchen
yeah,
like I
no,
was.
like I it was merely just figure out how to do stuff that's simple,
Mhm.
and that, you know, fills me up. Like,
Yeah.
it's just that growing up.
I was raised by Southern women who were
I
used
was
to
raised by
feeding
wolves.
who were raised by wolves. Yeah,
So,
used to feeding flocks of people
yeah,
is that's it. So I learned how to cook a lot of food for a lot of people, but a lot of convenience food as well, if that
which is
makes
yeah, it's a
sense.
lot of Southern stuff anyway.
Yeah, I think I definitely branched out after moving out and watching a lot more television.
Well, and that's the difference too, is your palate's so much, wider and
Yeah,
your, knowledge is much wider. Like, you know, that's
strictly from TV.
it's not just, "Okay, what are the steps to making this dish?" It's also just being able to know options, like,
Mhm.
all of that stuff escapes me, so, I feel like I've learned, kitchen etiquette and cooking poorly, so if I had a chance to
Yeah.
redo that, it would be a good opportunity.
We had a conversation in the grocery store the other day where we were just talking about difference in or like why people become like cooking snobs. Because I am a barbecue snob. I am aware of that fully, but that's because of where I've lived, where I've grown up, where I've eaten
But yeah,
barbecue.
like I would say I'm a
Yeah,
bit of a seafood snob.
absolutely, because you're from Savannah.
Mhm.
Yeah, and specifically, we were talking about like cannot use I can't use canned or jarred pasta sauce
You
anymore.
can't just buy pasta sauce.
Exactly, because I started making my own, and that ruined me
Yeah,
because there's so many different options. And, like, once you start getting used to something, it's really hard to find what you like in something ready-made.
right. And that's that aha moment
Yeah,
that like in the heart of this question is I guess what like envy or I guess what is aiming for. Like I want the moment where I realize making this
mhm,
is better than what I've got.
yeah,
Yeah.
and it's much more customizable in
Oh
general.
yeah. When you do it yourself.
Exactly. Did I answer?
No.
Oh, sick. Golly, there's a few books that I'd love to go back and read for the first time.
Mhm.
Like, Clockwork Orange is one of my favorite books. The Shining, definitely, that is my favorite book. Um, Red Dragon, I'd love to read Red Dragon for the first time again. Um, I don't know, I guess it's mostly, like, entertainment stuff. I'd love to go back and rewatch, Adventure Time for the first time.
It's an interesting take.
It's very, very um, yeah, that's all I can think of really for that.
No, I like it. I mean, I like the idea of it's not necessarily constructive. It's just entertaining, and
Exactly.
doing that again and falling in love with it again. I mean, that's a really
Mhm.
good, interesting take.
Thank you.
Hmm.
I am sometimes interesting. Good to know.
Always interesting.
Eh.
I think we have time for one more.
Dig to the bottom. Dig to the bottom.
We're getting a bottom of the barrel question for this one.
And the dog is away.
That's okay.
It's just a picture of a cat.
Awesome.
Your answer?
Meow.
Thank you.
You never know what you're gonna get in the hat of chatter.
Because you could really see the point where I just sort of checked out and started writing
Apparently.
stuff down. Oh, here's a good one.
All
This
right.
makes me wish Kev was here. What was your first favorite band?
Oh, probably Linkin Park.
Hmm.
Um, and only because I've thought of this before of just like firsts aren't always necessarily your lifetime favorites. I still
No.
love Linkin Park for sure, but they're no longer definitely.
Bless you. My goodness. You okay?
I had to expel a demon. I'm sorry. Um, but yeah, they're definitely not like the impetus of my musical interests anymore. Um, but I can think back specifically to when I heard just one of their songs and went
Was it
down a
crawling?
rabbit hole. No, it was in the end.
Mm.
It was in a music AMV, and that just sent me down a rabbit trail. And
Was it a Naruto AMV?
no, it was Dragon Ball actually.
Okay. Wait. For who?
Huh?
For
It
who?
was
Goku?
no, it was Trunks. It was Future Trunks. So,
That makes
which is
sense.
kind of appropriate because I mean, it was with that Future Trunks episode where Gohan dies and everything. When it's and so I mean, that's basically that whole thing. Is it's just like yeah, nothing matters.
No.
Looks like we got to
Cool.
go back in time.
Yep.
Um, and so anyway, it was just and from there then I discovered some of their other music. I bought Hybrid Theory, and I would listen to that. I would put that on when I went to bed and listen to that all through the night. Like I'd put it on
Mhm.
repeat and listen to the album. It would keep going. I mean, I think that's the reason I have those lyrics baked into my brain is because I listened to it while sleeping for so long.
Yes.
Um, they do. Dragon Ball Z and Linkin Park were made for each other,
Exactly.
for
And
sure, especially early Linkin Park.
I have a theory that at least 75% of AMVs are either going to have Linkin Park songs or Evanescence.
It depends on your era.
Well,
Now would be very different. Back in the day, like the
be a
way to get
corpse husband.
into like prog metal, new metal, to get into prog rock, emo, goth music, like the way to get into that was AMVs.
Mhm.
Like you didn't hear, "Oh my achy breaky heart" on AMVs. It just didn't work.
Please, someone make a fan cam. That's it. They're not AMVs anymore. They're
They're
fan
fan cams,
cams.
yes.
I learned that recently because I was wondering like whatever happened to AMVs. They're fan cams now. It's still
That
happening. They're just on
yeah,
TikTok now.
absolutely. So, Michael said much of my music taste is developed through AMVs. I made
Nerd.
several throughout middle school and early high school. Yeah, and
Please share
that's what I
some
mean.
of your
Like
old AMVs,
all
Michael.
all of all of my music taste was informed by those early days of discovering AMVs. Like
Yeah.
that's how I found Avenged Sevenfold. That's how I found Linkin Park. That's how I found 3 Days Grace, Breaking Benjamin. And that's what I say. Like you found all these rough cut, weird genres of music in AMVs, and
Mhm.
from there, while still loving whatever introduced you to the AMV, whatever anime or TV show, you would then have this cool new band to fall in love with, and so
Yeah.
but I really think, Linkin Park was definitively the first one for me, and so, yeah, especially early Linkin Park is super special, and I mean, yeah, up until, like, Minutes to Midnight, I was a really big Linkin Park fan for sure,
Yeah.
so,
R.I.P. Chester.
yeah, I
One
mean,
of the greatest talents of all time.
yeah, I mean, he's very much up there with, like, uh, Kurt Cobain, where I feel like a lot of people didn't realize through his characterized life how talented he was.
Uh-huh.
Um,
Let me school grandpa here for a sec. Now, Jackson, you remember when MTV used to make music videos? You remember? It's like that, but on YouTube with anime characters, anime music videos. That's it. Yeah, you know what those are.
MTV used to have music.
What
I'm
are
just
you,
kidding.
bowling for soup?
That, but that's how I discovered My Chemical Romance was through MTV actually.
Yes.
So.
Oh my gosh, the Helena music video was how
Yeah,
I discovered them too.
exactly.
Oh man.
Yeah, that's exactly the one. So, but anyway, yeah, I feel
Yeah.
like he's such a talent, and I feel like a lot of people don't realize or didn't realize maybe that at the time. I think that sometimes we look too much at the outside of people and judge them through and through for it, not realizing, wow, like no, this is just what they look like or what they do, but that there's a whole person under my preconception.
Yeah.
So
The unbearable burden of being known.
yeah. So
Yikes.
what about you? First
Um,
favorite band? Is that was that was the
yeah.
question?
My first favorite band, I discovered very similar to yours. Well, it's weird because I grew up in the car with my parents a lot of the time. So it was either country or talk radio with my dad, or classics, or just Big Daddy Weave with my mom, and other Christian classics. So that was most of my intake of
I think
music
I
for a long
I think I
time.
only know like one Big Daddy Weave song, and
I can't remember off the top of my head. It's the one that goes.
no, it wasn't Big Daddy Weave. I'm thinking of, is it Uncle Cracker?
Yes, most likely it's Uncle Cracker.
Maybe. I don't know. I have to look that up. My brain is confusing me. Michael, we need to see this
We
Death
need
Note
to.
AMV.
We
We
need
need
to
to
before Bombadcast, please.
bring it for show and tell next time.
Please. Yeah, I spent a lot of time in the car with my parents. Yes,
It doesn't
it,
sound like a real band
it,
name,
it
does it?
is.
Big
It
Daddy
is
Weave.
100% a
It
real
doesn't
band name.
sound like what it should be.
Ask Jerry. He can confirm that Big Daddy Weave is in fact a Christian band.
Oh, just last thing, and then I'll move on. But Switchfoot is for gay rights now, apparently, or at least enough that I have
Gay
more respect.
rights.
I love Switchfoot, but yeah, apparently a fan yelled gay rights at their thing at a concert recently, and the lead guy came out and was just like, "Hey, yeah, like I'm
Um,
for you, and you're good." And I'm like,
that's
"Awesome!"
nice.
Like, look at my old Christian bands being better Christians than most Christians.
Michael or Nick, you just can't swing past that. Excuse me? You played shows with Big Daddy Weave. Okay. I I need to hear this story. Please contact me as soon as possible.
That's pretty
I'll
dope.
have my people get in touch with your people. You're my people, so get in touch with him, please.
Okay,
Yeah. Talk to Nicholas.
I will touch you.
Please show me on this green rabbit burner. Anyway, so Ryan got a car. My oldest brother Ryan got a car, and which meant that I spent a lot
That
of time.
thing exploded.
It did though. And it was really bad. It was really bad car. It was a
It was a
tracker.
geo-tracker.
It was a geo tracker. It was awful. It was held together by duct tape and like just
Hopes and
nonsense.
dreams.
Exactly. And it had one of those tape decks that you can put the iPhone, iPod. I got there eventually. You could connect your iPod to the tape deck through a cassette tape.
Yep.
I
Remember
got there.
those.
And he played Fall Out Boy for us on the way to school, and that blew my tiny mind. And I went on YouTube that night and watched every single music video that I could. The first one was Grand Theft Autumn. That was my first Fall Out Boy music video.
My first was Thanks for the
Oh,
Memories,
such a
and I
good
got
one.
that from a Avatar: The Last Airbender AMV. And it was really well, it was just a general one. It was really well edited. I remember, and I think that's why it sticks in my brain is because that first like horn, that they had a horn from somewhere in the show, and it lined up perfectly. So I was
Okay.
just like, oh my gosh, it's like the horns playing the horn thing. It was funny.
YouTube in 2007
Special
and
place, man.
2008, like, oof, That's
early
where
YouTube.
that's where not AMVs, ARGs come from.
We're grateful for where it is now
Yeah.
because we're allowed in.
You're
But
not kidding.
it was a different beast originally. Definitely growing up, I remember
Yeah.
discovering it for the first time, and yeah, it's crazy to think about how far it's come. Because usually,
Yeah.
like, you don't get to do that with TV a lot. You don't get to be like, oh yeah, I used to watch, channel 32 back when it was just this little old timey like
No,
you don't.
I used to religiously refresh Marble Hornets every day to see what Slenderman was up to.
Yeah, and so, yeah, the internet overall, it was such a different place back
Yeah.
then, so it's crazy to think, in the 20 or so years how things have changed, but
Yeah.
it surely has. Now it's a place that you can sign up for a Twitter account just to get bullied by people that you'll never meet. So,
I'm right here.
um well, thanks for coming out, guys. Thanks for tuning in. We
Yeah.
wanted to do something fun, and it's always more fun. We enjoy recording, but when you have a little bit of an audience, it's always something a little different, a little special. And
Cool
so
stank on it.
we always appreciate those that join in for that craziness, and also for those that tune in later when we put it up as an audio podcast. If you want to check it out, then make sure to check the link in the description for our YouTube channel where you can get future live streams. If you aren't already, make sure to subscribe there. You'll get notified of that. Even if you listen to the podcast, sometimes it's more fun to do it live. It's definitely a different experience. And I can definitely say eh, you can't stick to any sort of script when you got a bunch of people spamming you about AMVs and all that good stuff. So, thanks for tuning in
Yeah.
whenever and wherever you tuned into it. Be sure to check out Broaxium in a few hours. They'll be going live at 9, and the one and only Boop will be there. And yeah, we'll have to do this again sometime. But look
We
out
will.
for future Nerd Herder content down the pipelines. We've got to completely refigure our schedule because, again, I lost 2 weeks.
Yeah.
And there's a lot. Yeah, it's just life has not been
Nonsense.
kind to our podcast schedule
No.
lately. So once we figure out what that's going to look like, we'll be back with plenty more and look forward to it. So be sure to subscribe to the podcast, the YouTube channel, all that good stuff to get updated and follow us on social media, especially Twitter,
That's where
to
I live.
also get updated. That's where we live for sure.
Mhm.
So because Instagram is dead apparently now.
It's not
Uh,
dead. It's just not a photo
it's just
sharing
not a
app
photo
anymore.
share. That's the whole thing. That's the whole
Exactly.
point.
We were talking about that right before we hit go live.
I don't
It's
know.
so
It's
stupid.
Facebook. We don't know what they're doing over there in that weird alien world with freaking Jesse Eisenberg. Um,
Mark Zuckerberg.
it's Mark Zuckerberg. Anyway, y'all have a good night. Again, check out Broaxium if you want more of Boop and her madness.
And also them.
Yeah,
It's their
they're there
YouTube
too, I
channel.
guess. They don't know it yet, but she's taking over. But anyway, and yeah, have a good evening. We'll see you soon.
Good night. See you in a couple hours.
Bye.